Superbooth 21, Tommy from Synanatomy. I'm again with Urs here.
Genau.
And we had made a lovely interview before. If you checked this one before, you are now here on the technical side, on the new products. And for Superbooth 21, you have new products in software and in hardware, right?
Well, in software, it's an update that's like a really looks like a completely new product. Yeah.
So maybe like checking out on the software side what you have new for.
Yeah. We have an update for More Feedbachine, which is actually that was my first plugin I ever released, and that was 19 years ago, right?
A big update
And
after 19 years.
after 19 years, well, there was one big update in between from version 1 to version 2, and this is now from version 2.3 to 2.5.
Okay, it's not a version 3.
It was supposed to be a version 3, but because the DLL file is called MFM2, we thought if it's MFM3, then some hosts won't find it. And then we're like, no, we keep it with version 2.5, but everybody will see it is actually a major update. It's major.
Okay. And it will be a paid update or a free update? Are you planning?
It'll be free. That's all
That's
right.
great. So people who bought a second get it for free. That's again customer service as usual.
Well, it is part of a. It is actually part of a big update for the Apple M1 and everything, and we made that free. And so these updates we're doing now will also be free, even though we add so much good stuff that it is literally a new software. But
So that's now the MFM2 version, the updated version, right? Yeah.
this is the MFM 2.5. It's still a little bit work in progress, but I can pretty much show everything that's new about it. Okay, so I just start. So MFM2 was always 4 delays that can be routed into each other, and the user interface was a bit confusing. So we cleaned that up. So now there's the 4 delays are here, and they're in groups of 2. So there's 1 and 2, and there's 3 and 4, and then each delay has a filter assigned, which can be like anything like a low pass whatsoever, and which can also be placed wherever you want it to. So any filter can be placed in. Oh, I have to use a low pass, and it can be placed in on the input of the delay, in the feedback of the delay, on the output of the delay, on the left input, right input of the whole plugin, and on the dry signal left and right, and each filter can go there. So and that has always been a little bit confusing, and we're going to try to show like maybe even what's the fleece diagram, a floating chart, right?
But, maybe what people doesn't know what's the idea of feedback? More feedback? Is it?
Well, it's a delay that where you have this huge feedback button here, and a feedback matrix here. In the most simple form, each delay only feeds back into itself, but we can have like really crazy feedbacks where everything goes into everything, or where feedbacks go bidirectional between delay lines, and then it can build up extremely. But because every delay line has it's built-in limiter, you can just go crazy with it. And at some point, it might be so crazy that you have to press the panic button. But yeah, maybe
So it's a noise machine, yeah.
Yeah, it can be a noise machine. It can be just a normal plugin, right, or delay plugin. And the special thing about More Feedbachine has always been that it's got compressors on the outputs, and it's got feedback effects, which are placed just where these little arrows are. So instead of just a filter in the feedback of the delay or a distortion, you could have like sideband filters for the shimmering stuff and all of that. So let's just say it's all a new layout that's easier to work with, and then you also have like all these modulations down here. You have got 4 LFOs, multi-stage envelopes, and a mod matrix that can modulate any of the parameters, and you have a keyboard. You can set the delays to be comb filters that can be played through the keyboard, for instance. But that's so far as all the stuff that's always been in More Feedback Machine. And now we have a couple of new things. The new things are there's an input section for each couple of delays, and they got an input gain. And you think, why do you need an input gain when you got all the output gains? That's because now you can do like stutter effects with that, and like really crazy modulations where you can do ducking delays that delay on the input side instead of on the output side. And we added a transient designer or a transient tool, so you can have the delay only work on the transients themselves, or it can be free of transients, and this way you can get a greater separation of the space in which the delay works. And the other thing is we added more feedback effects here. I have a drum loop here, which comes from Hive actually. Now we just have the typical delay, and let me just quickly do a ping pong delay, and let's say 8th here, 8th there, and left and right. That's the one thing. The Apple mouse is not my thing. So now we have a typical ping pong delay, and now let's listen to a delay that's just transient. Or no transients, right? So you can actually work on percussive sounds and shape them a bit more, and that is only then inside of the delays, which can be quite marvelous with loops and everything. And another thing that we did is we added a granular pitch shifter into the feedback. So there always used to be like a soft clipper, decimator, phasers, sideband filters, and now there's a granular unit and also a diffuser. Let's start with the granular unit, which is really funny. Yay! So that kind of stuff. And what you can also do, because the grain size can be tempo synced. So which, if you don't do anything, sounds just like the normal stuff. But then we can reverse it. We can reverse the grains. And it stays in sync, which is pretty cool.
So basically, you built now in a kind of granular delay, or?
Yeah, it's like you have the delay, and in the feedback you have a pitch shifter, which is grain based, and the grain size can be synced, but you can freely adjust it, and they can be transposed, and then you get all of these pretty crazy effects. But unlike a normal, yay, there's funny things. And then if it's too much for you, I just show. Oh, Oh, that's just something in work in progress. The panic button doesn't destroy the granular delay buffers, whatever. So it's coming, and it's a beta version, and because it's because of this syncing, I'm quite proud of that. You can create these effects so that they still remain keep the rhythmic integrity or whatever you call it, right? That's one of the things. The other thing is we now have a diffuser in it, and the diffuser is based on a cascade of L-pass filters, large L-pass filters, and if you know reverb history, many reverbs have been built on the idea of having delays and L-pass filters, and then they feed into each other, and that's now in More Feedbachine as well. And this is a really funny thing when you have that with sync delays, because I can show you and make a room here. Right? You can have these endless. It's like the instant ambient, these type of sounds are very popular in some of the modules in the modular synth type of thing.
And it can go endless, yeah?
I think it can go pretty much endless, yeah. Should be. Haven't tried with this beta version yet, and then you can filter, you can do all sorts of things, and what we've seen so far is only the first two delay lines, right? Because they can feed into each other, I can do something else on the other two delay lines. So let's say we do a round trip, right? I can add here now, let's say, or we can do something brutal just for a bit. It's a soft clip. Yay. Yeah, soft clip is brutal. Or again the granular thing. And we haven't even touched the LFOs and all the rhythmical filtering that's possible and all of that kind of stuff.
So there's a lot of new stuff in the MFM2. So you create, so the code base is still the same, or do you make the engine more refined, or?
We actually replaced all of the original. The original filters were all the what I call the academic DSP filters. They have huge disadvantages when you do fast modulations. They're prone to so-called rounding errors, particularly in the bass. And we replaced all of them with analog models. But they have the same response. They just react much better on fast modulations. They're also more accurate, and that's what we did.
So what I see, existing customers of this plugin get now a new one. And
basically, it's still backwards compatible. The old presets still work, right? We have tools in-house to check that it actually really works. We have like comparison tools, regression tools and stuff. And so far it looks pretty good. And we are having a lot of fun with it. Unfortunately, we haven't brought any presets yet. So it's so fresh that I haven't gotten any presets, so that I could just really go through and show you all these really exciting experiments we've done.
I think it's not so bad, because I think it's a plugin for experimenting.
Yeah, but there are some things where you really need a preset to see, oh shit, this is how they have done that, because there are so many so exciting things, right? And yeah, Yeah, it's just. Oh, there are low pass filters in the flow at the moment. That's why it's going down a little bit.
And you have a second new one or an update for the second new plugin, or is it?
We have as you might know is we are also working on Ubik on a really big update, and that was very difficult during Corona. So we had to put that aside, right? This is Ubik and Filterscape are next after More Feedbachine, and then we've gotten rid of all the updates we had to do before we could start really new stuff.
So Ubik, you don't have yet a demo or a teaser.
We have an actual what? Let me just feedback down. We have an alpha version that we have in our forums, which has been there for like 2 years now, I think, and but yeah, we had changes in staff and everything, so we're now slowly ramping up working on that again.
So MFM2 will be then a release for 2021. Probably.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ubik then for next year.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Not hopefully. Indeed, it will be next year. Yeah.
So this was then the update for MFM2. It's expecting for this year probably,
Yeah,
and price point it will remain the same.
No, we will actually make it slightly more expensive.
Oh, okay.
So like if you buy now, you'll get the update for free.
Okay, and okay, so the existing customers get them also for free.
Yeah.
That's typical UHE. Big thanks for this.
Yeah. Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, then I wish you a good Superbooth, and we going now in the next video to the hardware.
Yes.
Big thanks for watching, and hope to see you again in one of the next SYNTH Anatomy videos here from Superbooth 21. Bye.